once again for the renegade master. Back 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 once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We are getting back into Married at First Sight Australia series 11, and we are now on episode 6. And within this episode is when we get to the first dinner party of 2024 for all the couples to meet. And we also know that when this happens, you know, some bullshit and drama is about to be afoot. Right, so all the couples that we have so far is Cassandra and Tristan, Eden and Jaden, Lucinda and Tim, Tori and Jack, Ellie and Ben, Sarah and Tim, Lauren and Jonathan, Richard and Andrea, and Natalie and Collins. They still haven't found a match for Michael, but they're hoping to find one so he can come and join the group at a later date. Now, I've just done all of that, and the one thing that I've asked, that I always ask, that I completely forgot to ask before I got right into this episode because I'm excited to talk about it, is please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm on and doing videos. And let's continue to talk about this episode, shall we, where all the bullshit did arise. Right, so this is where you see Lauren, as I spoke about in my previous episode, do a turnabout face with Jonathan, because she believes, and she reflected, that when she's saying what she's saying to him, she may come off as nasty and abrasive, but she wants to try now to get to know Jonathan on a deeper level. Well, if she wants to change habits of a lifetime, this is what she's going to have to do. It's part and parcel of the experiment, to get to know the person you're married to on a different level, to see if you can make this work for the long haul. So it goes to Sarah and Tim, and they seem to be getting along a lot better now than they were in the big initial stages. They're both reflective, they've both discussed it, and now they're moving on to better things. So Andrea and Richard still going strong. It's the first few days for them together. They have proper, like, full-on sexual chemistry. There ain't no stopping them in any way, shape or form. Then we get to Natalie and Collins. Natalie and Collins. I'm gonna start from now that I feel it for Natalie, like seriously, because now she's not getting no affection from this man. She's not getting anything back from this man, when she was literally all in from the beginning with this man, and now everything's completely changed. So Natalie's literally going in on herself. She's getting very upset. She's crying all the time. And she has that sinking feeling that this man does not like her for her, and that's the one thing that she feared. Collins is not reading the room at all. He's not reading his partner at all, and this is why I thought to myself, Collins should not have applied to this show. Like, seriously, shouldn't have applied to this show. He was not ready for this type of commitment and this type of relationship at the end of the day. What he should have done is sold his oats, got few relationships under his belt, got a bit of life experience, and then come and apply for that show if that was the case. Because he's literally spoiling and destroying Natalie's experience. Like, literally. She goes out for the day, she goes for a walk by herself, picks up rocks and comes back. Again, Collins is not giving anything. He comes and says, oh, you've been collecting rocks, da-da-da-da-da. The conversation's mundane, the conversation's awkward. It's kind of like he's talking to his sister. That's how it is at the end of the day. It's like he's talking to his sister. So Natalie's talking about how she wants to try and explore the romantic connection more, and I'm like, there's no romantic connection there right now, my girl. You're not getting that with Collins. He's not giving you nothing. This man doesn't know how to literally open up, and be direct in what it is that he wants and what he wants to put and emit out to the world and to Natalie. So he decides that they were going to take a jaunt going fishing. Natalie says she ain't going fishing. She wants to stay in the hotel if that's the case. That ain't what she wants to do on her honeymoon at the end of the day. So he decides to change his tact and decides to do a dune bugging with her, like take a sand buggy, so someone's driving in the sand. She didn't really want to do that either because it was hella hot outside. She didn't have her sun cream, I don't think, or something to shade her with. Collins is just oblivious. Like, absolutely oblivious. So I think it was the producer, one of the producers asked Collins, yeah, as he's standing by he must be standing by a chicken coop, what are his feelings for Nat? And his words were, I'm enjoying her company. That sounds like talking about your family pet, my friend. That sounds like Collins is talking about his family pet. I'm just enjoying it. You're talking about your wife, my guy. You're talking about your wife. So then it cuts to Natalie beginning to cry in the sand buggy ride, and all Collins does is rub her shoulder. There's no hug, there's no reassurance, there's no what's wrong, talk to me, let's talk through this. There's nothing from this man. It's like a brick motherfucking wall. And again, I don't know what he's doing on the show. I don't know why he applied. Like, seriously, I really don't. So Colin turns around and said it doesn't mean that he has a long way to go, but he doesn't know if he has met the one yet. So they asked him, well, do you believe you've met the one yet? And he says, what? Say that again? Like he didn't hear. Yeah. So so they turn around and ask him, do you believe that Natalie is featured in your future, basically? I'm paraphrasing there. Again, his first answer was no, I don't see a future with Nat. That was his first answer straight off the bat. Then he goes back and goes, hold on a minute, what did you just say? He acts all confused, like he didn't understand the question. And I think with Collins, this is him playing dumb. He knows exactly what the question was. He just literally flew off at the mouth. And I would say take his first reaction. His first thing that he said is the true thing that Collins was thinking. He thought it and it flew out of his mouth. He didn't mean to say that. So he was literally trying to pull it back and do damage control. And then comes the dumb act. Like he's thinking, I don't understand what you said. No, and he still didn't answer the question, because then he gets distracted by a motherfucking chicken and starts saying that that chicken's really making him feel anxious and it's actually scaring him. And he still didn't answer the question. He just went, yeah. What is this man? Where did they find this man from? Like, seriously, where did they find Collins from? He does not have the emotional maturity for this show. He does not have the built up emotional maturity in order to conduct himself properly within, not even just in a relationship, within a marriage. He really does not. We see Tim and Lucinda just having a general chat. And Tim is still feeling like the idea of someone getting to know him properly scares him. And again, I'm like, why did you apply to this show? There's a lot of people I'm thinking, why did they apply to this show? Like, seriously, are they really on there to actually find a partner for a lifetime? Like, seriously? Because my thing with Tim is, yes, he looks like he's getting a little bit closer to Lucinda. He really does like Lucinda. And he says he's a slow burner. I'm tired of hearing that slow burner shit, basically. Because at the end of the day, I would say if Tim was with someone that he felt instant sexual chemistry with, or he felt that chemistry with, guaranteed he would not be a slow burner. Guaranteed none of them will be a slow burner, right? He is just finding it very hard to open himself up to someone like Lucinda. But Lucinda isn't... What can I say about Lucinda? Because I do like Lucinda, but she's half the time she's away with the fairies. Like, seriously, she's away with the fairies, and she's very full on. Like, she's always in his space, like constantly, and always talking to him, trying to get to understand him, because she wants him to get to where she is, because he's there and she's up there with her feelings for him. Hopefully it will work out. Hopefully it will work out for them. They did have a conversation in regards to what was their highlight and what wasn't the highlight. So the highlight for Lucinda was when they went to, I think, a bird sanctuary, she said, and her low highlight was the honesty box. And this is what I mean, because Lucinda did say to him, be honest, when that question did come around about, do you feel any sexual chemistry towards me? And he was honest with the answer. Of course, the answer, other than yes, is going to hurt Lucinda. It's going to make her feel a kind of way. But then my thing is don't ask for honesty if you're not prepared to hear the negative of it. So basically, the question turned around on Tim, and he basically said that his highlight was Lucinda at the end of the day, because he liked her heart, her honesty, the way her eyes lit up when she smiles, and she wears her heart on her sleeve. So he compares himself to her in the fact that he's the complete opposite to her, and finds that quite difficult, and basically says that she's a cool girl. So Tim has got the beginnings of really liking this girl and can see the good attributes of Lucinda, but he just won't let himself go. But he does show her affection. He does. He hugs her, he kisses her, he does all that stuff. He just hasn't gone the rest of the way with her in that sense. So now it comes back to everybody is getting ready to go to Sydney, because that's where they're going to be staying in their flats, and get ready for the dinner party. Natalie basically says to Collins that she needs him to give her that emotional support, because she is feeling anxious about going into a very group setting when they're not like solidified as a couple, or even a married couple at that point. And I'm like, my girl, Collins has already forgot about you. Collins is just happy to be able to go to this dinner party and save face in front of people, and be able to see the people that he met during the books night. That's where Collins is. He is not going to support you in any way, shape, or form. So Natalie needs to be prepared that once she hits that door, she's going to be on her own. She's going to be on her own. So now everybody starts a buzzing, because this online gossip column basically has spoken about one of the couples, has spoken about one of the married men, that being Jack. At first I thought it was Tim, when they talked about like a groom was in a serious relationship prior to entering the experiment, but they weren't. They were talking about Jack, because apparently I think it was just before he came in, apparently Jack was in a serious relationship with someone. This is what the girl is saying in this article. He was in a serious relationship with her, and basically what had happened is he turned around and said that he was going to be working away in America for 3 months, and then she turns on her TV and finds him on the TV, Married at First Sight Australia. So she decided enough's enough, she's going to speak out. So everybody is abuzz with it. Jack is aware that this article is out there, and already he's painting this woman as a crazy woman. Like, seriously, he's painting this woman as a crazy woman. Tori is quiet as a church motherfucking mouse, and ain't said nothing in regards to what's been said or what's going on. And this is a girl who literally said that she's a control freak and a very independent soul, but she was very quiet that night. I knew straight away from all of this kerfuffle that Jack would not tell the truth. Jack would already have a set narrative in place in terms of what he's going to say moving forward. I think he's already convinced Tori about his narrative. That's why this girl is as quiet as a church mouse and ain't making no bounds about it. The one person that everybody was thinking will be quite fiery with the questions or wanting to know what's going on was Lauren, because everybody's already met Lauren from the hen do, so they know that she's quite a big personality, and she don't, make no bones about saying what she has to say. She's basically saying that she wants to be there for Tori, because her and Tori are like that at the moment, because her and Tori did get on really well at the hen party. I'll have to say I don't really like Tori. I don't really like Tori. I don't really like Jack. I was kind of in between when it came to Lauren. I'm kind of like, okay, she's somebody I might get on with it. Small doses, might get on with her in small doses. But yeah, so Jack knows he's going to be questioned. Jack knows it's going to come out at some point. And apparently they said that this isn't the first time that Jack's character has been pulled into question. And he said, like, within his VC, when he was talking to the experts, he said every single chick he has been with will come out and probably say something. So it's always guilty until proven innocent in regards to himself. I don't like the fact that he calls women chicks. I don't. I really don't. I'm not fucking birds at the end of the day. And that's a red flag within and of itself for me, because I don't like the fact that he akins women to chicks. So I'm just like, there's truth to it. There's truth to what this girl is saying. I really wouldn't believe a word that comes out of Jack's mouth, because he would have already created his narrative, which he did do. And also, I wish they would stop calling this man an alpha. He's not. He's just a prick at the end of the day. He fancies himself a dom. That's how I'm seeing it. And I'll tell you for why. I will get to the example a bit further down as to why I think this man fancies himself a dom and thinks that Tori is his little submissive plaything at the end of the day. So Jack is basically saying that this one woman just wants 3 seconds of fame. He keeps on saying it was a casual relationship, which started earlier on in the year. And he basically said that he needed... So when they were asking him if Tori knows or how did Tori react, he didn't answer that question at all. He needed a break at that moment because he was getting too hot and sweaty. And I was like, yeah. Because you already gave that girl your story. That's why she ain't said nothing. So here we go. The first dinner party comes. You got Tristan and Cassandra talking in the car. Natalie and Collins are so far apart from each other. I don't know how... At that point, I was like, I don't know how they're going to work through this. Like, seriously. Jack is just continuing to talk about the drama that's following him around. And Tori is literally, again, quiet. She ain't said nothing. She ain't said a lot, but everybody at this point is talking about Lauren is going to be loose with her lips. And I thought, well, Lauren's going to speak up. This is how Lauren was being in her VC, that she's going to speak up. She's going to say something. She's going to protect her friend. And to be fair, Lauren didn't say a lot. Lauren did not say a lot. Like, nobody really started that conversation going. It was Jaden who started that conversation going, to be fair. So... you see Jaden and Eden coming first, then Tristan and Cassandra come in. They do look happy together, Sarah and Tim, and again they looked happy. And then Lucinda and Tim come in, very united, and they do look very happy. Lauren and Jonathan walk in, and they came in united, but you know, Lauren quickly split off without saying her full hellos to everybody, because she needed a drink. She had a dry throat. She needed to get some booze down her mouth, basically. So then Richard and Andrea walk in, and then Belle and Ellie walk in. So in comes Natalie and Collins, and it was kind of like they were putting a brave face on it. Like, they literally came in like they haven't been so far apart at this moment in time with each other. It was just a pure facade until Collins leaves her while he's chatting and making it seem as though they're getting on so well and everything is so good, when it's not. It absolutely isn't. And Natalie was getting more and more upset throughout that whole debacle of them walking in, and she did sit and tell some of the girls that, you know what, it's actually not working between the both of them in that sense. And she did call Collins out when he tried to say that everything was fine between them, and it wasn't. Collins did not like that. Collins did not like that at all. So then everybody starts gossiping about Tori and Jack because they haven't got in there yet. So you see Jack and Tori pull up. So Jack turned to Tori and said, pretend you are happy. And I'm like, my guy's talking to this girl like she ain't got no brain and she ain't got no mouth, and he's the puppet master and she's on his strings. That's how he's talking to this girl. And she follows suit because she does walk in there like they are so put together. They're this, they're that, they're... Oh, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know where the girl's gone that was so, like, you know, animated within the Hindu, animated within her VCs, and then now she's next to Jack. It's just like she's become a shadow of her former self, like, seriously. So Lauren is on guard fully. Like, Lauren is proper on guard fully. So everybody goes into the room. Natalie and Collins don't make it into the room. And you see Natalie and Collins having a conversation outside of the door. And basically Natalie is not happy at all. And Collins turns around and says that... Collins responds with, you kind of sour sitting on the couch. And I'm like, your wife is in tears. She's emotionally distraught. And all you can say to her is, you were kind of sour sitting on the couch because you were not there for her, Collins. Collins has again no emotional maturity. He has no insight to his behaviour and how that then impacts on Natalie and her emotions. I said he's not once showed her 1 ounce of affection. He's essentially rejected her, and he expects her to be Miss Sunshine and Light in front of these people, to put on a facade, to put on a face. And I mean, I know in his VC, he said that he wanted what his parents have. Is that what he's been seeing? That when shit comes to the forefront, they just put on a facade, they put a plaster over it and hope it will stick and fix all ills, because that's not how marriage works, and that's not who Natalie is at the end of the day. So I just thought, you know what, at this point, Collins is an arse. Collins is an arse. And then Collins turns around and said to her, and you bad mouthed our honeymoon. I'm like, what honeymoon, my guy? The honeymoon was you just literally being friends with your wife, being a sister to your wife. That's all that was. You showed her nothing, absolutely nothing. Natalie needed help and support, like she needs help and support right now, and Collins is not there for her, like seriously not there for her. So they do go back in, and Natalie is just literally subdued, like properly subdued, and she's fully struggling, and nobody notices that she is struggling in the slightest. Looked completely lost. Colin was just ignoring her completely until he turned around and asked her if she was okay, and she said no, and then that's when she got up from the table and left the room, and Collins quickly followed her. And that's the only time that people noticed that, you know what, Natalie's not happening. Natalie's not in a good place at this moment in time. None of the other women went out to see if she was okay, but Collins did follow her. And I said, at the end of the day, Natalie should use self-preservation and leave the experiment, because this is not working out for her. Collins is not the man for her at the end of the day. He really is not. So she then sits down and tells Collins that she really wanted it to work. This man, all he was worried about was the dinner party. My man stood there in his VC talking to the producers, saying his mind is blown, he didn't know where that came from. And I thought, someone please tell me Colin is not this obtuse. Like seriously, he can't be this stupid. He seriously can't be this stupid. And I'm like, is he for real right now? I'm like, okay then, he doesn't know where it came from. How about sleeping in a separate bed the day after you got married? Then you tell her you're a slow burner. Then you make a damn pillow fort so you don't touch. Then there's no intimacy at all on top of that. No hugs, no kisses, no nothing, no reassurance for Natalie at all. Then you wanted to take her fishing on her rotted honeymoon. Then you took her to sand buggying. He showed her not 1 ounce of respect as his wife throughout all of this. He doesn't even seem like he likes the person that he married, and then he doesn't know where it came from. He really I'm just like, Natalie's been telling him. Natalie's been open and communicative with him, and he still don't know where it come from. Even now she's being communicative with him, and he still don't know where it come from. Oh my God. He turns around and he said that he would love Natalie to stay. Natalie basically said that she wants to go home because she can't push herself anymore through this. And I was just like, Collins is not ready for a marriage. Collins is not ready for a marriage. So she made the rash decision at that point that she wanted to leave the experiment. So they went back in and told the people. Natalie was absolutely devastated when she explained it to them. So as they're coming round to hug Natalie, because you could see that she's absolutely devastated, why does Colin try to do an Oscar-worthy performance? Not even Oscar-worthy. Krabby Patty performance. From Bikini Bottom performance. Like seriously, it was really bad. That man did not cry. He did not cry at all, but he was trying to take away the limelight from Natalie. And everybody was looking at him as if to say, is this man okay? I don't think he's okay, because at the end of the day, it's kind of like it was a put on, and everybody could see it was a put on. There were no tears, there were no nothing. He was pretending to act shocked. yeah, I think the only thing Collins was freaking worried about was leaving the dinner table, leaving the experiment, and missing out on everybody else and all the fun that they're gonna have. He wasn't particularly bothered about Natalie and her feelings at all. If he could stay by himself, then he would. That's how I see it with Collins. Like, he really didn't give a rat's ass. Like, seriously. At that point, I was like, Collins, you need to just shut your mouth for real. Natalie's already gone. And then you see Collins outside because they're all having a raucous laugh and talking about sex and this, that, and the other. And Collins is outside like, oh, look, they're having a laugh. I should be in there. And I'm like, my guy, you're being a right mofo right now. He's being a right not mofo, FOMO. He's being a FOMO right now. He has a fear of missing out. Like, seriously, he didn't give a shit that Natalie went. He really didn't. So, all I can say is Lucinda is a cracker of a woman. Like, seriously, she kept that table jumping, and she was going in terms of thinking that the experts as well brought people together due to similarities in their facial structures and all this, that, and the other. Poor Richard was sitting there like thinking, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, seriously, what is she talking about right now? So everybody's acting all nicey. So Jaden was like, yeah, no, this vibe is not the one, because there's an elephant in the room, nobody's asking the question, and everybody's being too polite. You know what? I ain't afraid to say nothing. So Jaden pipes everyone down and then talks about it and says, we need to know, we need to put it to bed. We need to, like, you know, have this conversation about it. Jack said that he wasn't nervous, but my man looked mighty nervous. My man looked mighty nervous about what was going to come his way, because he went red, beetroot red, and he looked like he was sweating. Again, Tori looked like a church mouse sat next to that man. Like, she shrank into her seat to the point where you'd have to say, where the fuck is Tori gone? Where's she gone? Is she still there? Oh yeah, she's still sitting next to him. That girl didn't say not a one rotted bean. So basically, Jack is trying to say it was a disgruntled ex, but Jack would say that. So he basically said, all right then, have at it. So he was then asked from Lauren, had he broken up with the girl to come on the show? Then Sarah pipes up with her question that there was talk about, like, in the article of you meeting her parents, yada yada yada. Then Richard pipes up and says, well, the article says that Jack said to her that he had a job in America for 3 months, which was a lie, and why did he tell her that? So Jack says basically it was a weak moment and he did nothing. It was a weak story, that everything that they were saying was absolutely weak and he did nothing wrong. So he basically then goes on this whole spiel of why all of this was taken out of context. He tries to say the relationship was casual, but then in the next breath says it was exclusive. How does that work? How could a relationship be casual but exclusive? That would mean the exclusivity means it kind of was a serious relationship. So I was just like, the math ain't mathing for me. At each point he kept on going on, the math was not mathing. So basically Jack then says that this girl fell harder for him than he did for her, and now she's basically throwing him under the bus. What he's saying makes me believe that this girl was telling the truth in terms of what happened between her and Jack. This girl was telling the truth. There's no denying it, really. So he says that he has a lot on this girl, but he wouldn't do that to her. Then turns around and says that this girl has a colourful past. And I thought, but my guy, you got in a relationship with this girl. So if it was casual, yeah, you wouldn't know that this girl had a colourful past, because it wouldn't have got that deep for you to know that shit. So why is Jack lying? Why is Jack lying? I thought he's digging himself a bigger hole, and there ain't roses at the bottom of that hole at all. So he's basically saying that she wants to question his character, and in the story there is some truth to it, but he doesn't literally say which parts are the truthful bit. So he then says that he was in a relationship with this girl fully, and then again deemed the relationship as casual. He turns around and then says that they were arguing on a daily and she was questioning his commitment. He then said that he then tried to break it off with her. And he did turn around and say to her that he was going to America for 3 months. But then she saw him on telly. And I thought, that is the biggest crock of shit if I ever heard in my life. And if people believe it, well, Tori believed it. Like, seriously, Tori believed that shit. I don't understand. He's basically saying that the article came out, didn't surprise him, but this is about him and Tori, and he felt upset for Tori. So Lauren was right when she said it was just a long-winded story for him to get to the point. He said that he tried to end it 8 weeks ago. Then he turned around and said no, he tried to end it 7 weeks ago. Which one was it? Which one was it, Jack? Because even the experts picked that one up, that you're lying somewhere. And even the experts turned around and said, even if it was 6 or 7 or even 8 weeks ago, you were in the process of this experiment. So yeah, they said they would have to talk to you about that because you're lying somewhere along the line. You're absolutely lying somewhere along the line. So Lauren turned around and said to him that his focus needs to be basically on where he is at now. So Jack in his VC starts calling Lauren loud and obnoxious, and actually Lauren wasn't being loud and obnoxious. It's just that Jack doesn't like women telling him what to do or questioning him about his business. Again, Tori is quiet, like hella quiet. So then Tori speaks up when Lauren does ask her, well, what are you thinking about all of this? So Tori backs Jack completely and says that she is happy. And I'm like, really? Really, my girl? So you see Jack sitting there like he is the cat that got the cream. He's the king of the motherfucking castle right now because Tori has just backed up his bullshit. And I'm just like, this man is showing you hella red flags. He's literally sitting there lying in your face to the rest of the table, trying to paint this woman as a crazy, vindictive woman, knowing full well that what she's probably saying in her article is absolutely the motherfucking truth when it comes to Jack. But you don't want to hear that. Okay, she's basically said that she don't want to engage in it and she doesn't care. And I thought, you should care. You should care about the type of man that you're married to right now. You should care about the type of man you're putting your lot in with right now in regards to trying to make a marriage work with him. I'm telling you, Jack is not here. Jack's not there for the right reasons. He really is not there for the right reasons. So I'm like, this is where this man wants Tori. Jack said, I'd like to point out, now this is his smarminess. I'd like to point out that Tori didn't give me shit. She held my hand and she had my back. The emotional intelligence in this one right from this girl is so attractive. And then he turns to Tori and says, thank you very much. And I'm like, this man is literally giving her these little tidbits, yeah, as a reward for her being a good little girl. That's why he said what he said, because she did him proud. She did Daddy Jack or Dom Jack proud, because he fancies himself a Dom. He really does fancy himself a Dom, and that's how it's coming across right now. She did him proud. She behaved like a good little girl. So in return, here's your reward. I will give you that little accolade that, you know what, your emotional intelligence I find so attractive. Yeah, Jack's full of shit. Lauren knows he's full of shit. And she should know, because she knows all about red flags. She's experienced red flags all of her dating life. So she knows Jack is one big walking red flag. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised and shocked by Tori and how she's behaving with this man. But anyway, that's where the episode ended. I'll be back with a new episode very, very soon. As I always say, my renegades, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so you know I'm on and doing videos. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Peace out.